Hi there. Welcome back to another episode of Being Your Ray. And I'm super excited today to talk about this reality that I have in my mind. And I can't really call it a reality because it's not something we are witnessing at this point. But I would love to see that happen in the time that I'm still alive and see those things unfold, and it makes me feel very hopeful about the times that we're living in. Like there are so many negative discussions on how glim things are, how AI is going to take over humans, and we would not have jobs, and like every scenario it just feels like we are surviving off of very little, and there are just like 10% people who are probably living the kind of life they had envisioned for themselves, and like everything else just seems very dark for 90% of the people and all of that. So I didn't want to talk about that, but okay. Just to keep those things aside, I want to really focus on this future that I have in my mind and that I wish to see more of in the world if I cannot make it happen. I wish someone listens to this and take some notes, and please let's just try to create a better world. So, yeah, anyway, I think whenever you go through issues yourself, you wish that no one else should be going through it. And then you imagine of a world where these problems are solved. And if you can play a part in that, and how beautiful it would be if we weren't going through this. So I'll start from college because I feel did not feel any problems in my school era and while growing up. Like, thoda bahut issues within family and education, but I don't think anything major that I would want to change in that aspect. I really loved growing up, and I had the basic needs figured out, and I'm super grateful for all of it. And even the problems that I'm going to mention, I am still grateful for all of it that I went through and for the lessons that it has brought me. None of this is in a bad light. Just want to clarify that. It just gives me a lot of happiness knowing that there is a possibility of these problems being eradicated and for the next generation to not face the same things, and how exciting it would be to see how things pan out. So, yeah, anyway, I think the real problem for me personally started through college, as I would have mentioned in previous episodes as well, was this whole competitive environment that we are put in since 11th and 12th. For me, it was science and preparing for my medical entrance exams was a completely different experience from what I was expecting. And as a 15-year-old, I don't think anyone needs to go through that level of pressure. And yeah, just lack of awareness in terms of what you can pursue and what you can do with your life, that you'll be okay. It's not that grave. So, anyway, I would like to see colleges that are more student oriented and not profit business oriented, because that's what I have seen with every college and coaching institute that I've been to. It's just, and in general, I see a lot of attracting people and trying to get the most out of them, but not prioritizing the person on the other end and the experience that they are getting and the return on investment for them. So I feel if someone is giving even 1 rupee to me for my service, I need to be able to at least return them with an experience or a value or a product or anything of that sort, which at least equals to 2 rupees. So there has to be, if not a higher value proposition, at least an equal. So I never saw that equal value proposition. It was always way too less in comparison to what I had in my mind. And that filled me with a lot of angst in the start that, okay, it's mainly a business where people are trying to find toppers and then they are the ones who would be focused upon. But what about the rest of the class that will not be selected and does not know how to go about things? And of course, there are like two, three professors who will always make sure that you know the grim reality and keep your options open. And I'm so, so, so in love with them. Like, I genuinely remember those professors. I don't remember anything that I studied or went through during those college days and coaching institute days. But these few professors who really did their best to give us an experience that will shape us for the rest of our lives, or at least help us make a better decision with where we are heading. And yeah, so I have a lot of respect and admiration for not just people and like teachers, friends, family members, anyone who is focused on the experience part of everything and trying to shape you as a person and providing you with a better view of life. But I especially love it when bigger companies or brands care for their customer and give them the full reality check while serving them in the best way possible. Like, I hate it when I shouldn't use that word, but when people just try to gain something by keeping their customer in the dark, or the consumer, or just a prospect, so that they can mint something out of the relationship. But when I see brands and anyone with a value transaction related thing, if they try to keep everything transparent since the start and make it clear what their service is about, how it will fit into the consumer's life, how helpful it can be, what are the chances of it impacting their life, and all of those things. And then the consumer can make a well rounded decision of putting their time, money, efforts into it. So it's not just money that you put into something, it's literally, especially when it comes to these coaching institutes and college and things like that, it's the prime years of your life, the 15 to 20 wala age. If that is just spent in confusion and frustration and anger, that is 5 years lost in vain. Maybe you could have, and a lot of us college students feel like we could have done so much more in that time if we were more aware, if we had idea about things. And I know right now, at least the 15-year-olds that we see are a lot smarter and know where they want to head in their lives. But at such a tender age, when you are kept in the dark and you just need to choose something and go with something, and then you realize that this is not what I thought in my head, and everything just toppling down one after the another, you lose hope with things and you really don't know where is the silver lining for me. So I just wish to see more brands, more people, more businesses to keep things as transparent as possible, give the consumer enough understanding of what they're going through, and if the service is really for them. And if it is not, educate them on any other options that will be more fitting for them instead of taking advantage of their innocence, maybe, or like trying hacks to get a sale out of them quickly, because I don't think that leads to a long term, loyal, beautiful relationship that could have been a possibility. So, yeah, first is that a problem, major problem that I saw as a 15-year-old and wish that could have been different and should change going forward. Then it comes to the next phase of your life. After the exams and the academic stuff is over, you are forced into the new puddle of placements and getting jobs and all of that stress. And again, a lot of competition. And it just keeps getting worse after every step because you feel like things will get better now, but it just does not. And when you see the placement season coming closer, you realize that, okay, this isn't again what I was expecting. So I need to do something by myself that I find worthy enough, because everything else clearly does not fit with my needs and my expectations. So, yeah, if I would have been told that this is how things are going to be, I would have been more open to at least the possibility. But if you just tell me, okay, these are the numbers and college is a game changer and it helps you get a job or just do this or that, when it hardly does anything. Like I'm talking as someone who went to a good, decent college from Mumbai, and I still did not see anything substantial coming out of the 4 years that I put in there. And anything that I learned, anything that helped me grow, got me a job, was solely because I took the decision that I can't live with these limitations that are being put on me. But yeah, if I was informed in the start itself that this is how it is gonna look, this is the ground reality, and figure it out if you fit into this. And if you don't, find your options. I would have appreciated that a lot more, or may not have wasted the time that I did over there. But again, I was naive. I did not have any idea. I was super scared. I did not know of any other options to go ahead with after my medical entrance exam. So, whatever little hope I could cling on to, I did, and went to a college. So there's that. So yeah, anyway, now having seen those two major things that are very pivotal in our lives, especially as an Indian: academics, education, and job or placement. I think that is where most of the youngsters are, most of their time, efforts, and money, energy, everything is going into. I have figured out a few things that work and that don't work, and the alternate reality that I was talking about that I wish to see more of. Let's get to that part. So, firstly, I feel everyone should be starting something of their own, and being an entrepreneur should be as normal as going to a college. In fact, a college or a job that you go to should dedicate like at least 2 hours, and jitna ho sake utna, 2 to 4 hours, to just building your own thing. You probably don't have to earn money from it in the start, but you can gain so much of experience and learning out of building something of your own that is just crazy level of learning in itself. A college which is able to help that, and if you're putting 2 to 4 hours of your day every single day for 4 years, just imagine the kind of learning and growth you will experience through that process. And especially in your early 20s, when time is of such a, what's the word? Like an important resource, and you can use it to your full capacity. You don't have to think about household chores. You don't have to think of providing to a family. You don't have to think about a job. Those 4 years can change you completely. And of course, there will be like individual struggles that people have in their lives. I'm just putting a blanket statement on what a normal college going individual goes through. I would love for every single person to create something of their own, not having to think about how can I gain something out of it, or how to become the next big thing, or just like being famous or anything of that sort, but just doing it for the love of it because it comes naturally to them, because they can't imagine a life without this. So their business or whatever project, just let's call it a creative project, whatever creative project they are taking up, it is not just a window to help them understand themselves and what they value in life, but at the same time grow into that beautiful butterfly from a cocoon stage. And finally, when they graduate college, have a level of clarity about the direction that they are going to take in. Right now, what I see is after graduation, we are mostly just more confused with, okay, this did not provide me with the level of knowledge and skills that I wanted. So now I have to work on the side and create multiple sources of income, and really find out what my area of interest is that can also pay my bills. And then it becomes a lot more of pressure for on that one single person. So then they will try to pick up anything and everything that can help them survive. So that survival mode would have been prevented way too earlier. So yeah, one thing I really, really wish to see in this world is like a dedicated space and time. 4 hours would be great, like 4 hours of okay, college education, whatever. But 4 hours of at least building something of yourself or working on a creative project that really excites you, that you find interesting, that brings you alive. And yeah, I would just love to see that. And I'm saying that within college or any of those premises because when you're alone and you're doing something, you need a certain kind of atmosphere and environment to be able to build something of your own. And if you have people around you who are also building and doing their own thing at the sides, it feels a very normal thing to do, and you can easily get into that character. But the biggest obstacle that I had was after I graduated from college, I did have the time and freedom to be able to pursue my own thing, but I did not have the environment. And I wasn't aware of how huge this one thing can be. Like, if you're not in an environment, if you don't have a space where everyone's building something of their own, or like a community, or like a physical space where you go to every single day, like a college, like literally. It is building something in your room all by yourself with no accountability, especially in the start when you don't know how to go about things and there's no support. And no one really gets it, is very tough. Like there were so many moments where I felt like this was the time I have been waiting since forever. I have the financial freedom to pursue it. I have the time freedom to do it. And still I wasn't able to do the thing because I did not have that kind of environment. And of course, I could go to co-working spaces and try that thing out. But again, I had to save up to invest in my own lifestyle and business. I couldn't spend an extra 5K per month on going somewhere and also like not knowing if it will have the kind of ROI that I was looking out for. So I did try like cafe and libraries, all of that. But again, it's like unless you don't have a level of accountability, like college attendance level accountability, it is quite depressing. So, yeah, I would really like to see centers which are oriented towards helping people do something of their own and pursue their creativity without any limits. So, yeah, that would be great. Like, I understand attending college and get like going for a job and things like that, but I don't think 4 घंटे से ज़्यादा is necessary. And I think most colleges are 3 to 4 hours. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but my college was 9 to 5 because we had labs and everything. But I think maybe other courses have different timings as well. So I don't think you need to spend more than 4 hours on your what you call the money side of things and academic side of things. Of course, again, there are exceptions for courses that demand that much because it needs a level of proficiency, and yeah, not denying any of it as long as you love the course and you want to put in the effort. This is specifically for people who are still trying to figure out, and for the vast majority who don't know where they want to finally land and which role and all of that. And then it's just very confusing after you graduate and see all the different sorts of things that weren't again taught in your college, but now again you're all on your own. So it's better to have that experience early on. So yeah, I think environment is a big thing. The another problem that I have, and I feel will solve most of this, and it's a huge one. So I think I'll cover it up in the next session or whatever. But that is related to spirituality and meditation because I feel that is the one key to really fast track your progress and get to where you want to in life. And that will be a big one. It's something very close to me and I'm very passionate about it. So I'll cover it in a later session. But for this one, I just wanted to focus on this world where I see people giving more value than what they charge and having absolute transparent relationship with their consumers so that it leads to a long term value adding beautiful relationship. And second thing is to see people build something of their own or take up creative projects for self expression or just solving a problem that is very close to them and is prevalent in the world. And yeah, use their creative solutions to be able to solve that. And when they have that kind of environment and see that it's normal, it happens. So that that would be like a really thriving place to be in. And I genuinely wish to see more of that in the world. And it's the reality that I know will come to life soon, and I'm super excited to see. So, yeah, those are the few things that I had on my mind, just a rant of what keeps me hopeful and gets me excited. I've left the major one out of this chunk, which is spirituality, and I will talk about it. The only reason I haven't really started speaking about it as much is because unless someone is totally done with their life and has had enough of the, for lack of a better word, enough of bullshit that goes around, they might not be able to take spirituality as seriously because I wasn't a spiritual person by any means, unless what, 17? Yeah, I think 17, 18, 19. 19 was when I actually started taking it more seriously, but uske pehle, mm, not even a flicker. So, yeah, unless I could not bear anything anymore and just wanted to find a way out of all that was happening, like not just academically or financially, but emotionally, personally, socially, on all levels. So, yeah, it has been a game changer. And anyone who has had that experience or has started their journey will know what I'm talking about. So, a lot of my friends are not spiritual. So, I struggle to find ways to make it more open and accepting enough for them because as someone who did not, I was not I was very neutral about it. Matlab, as someone who did not go through that experience, I know that it seems vague and it seems like, okay, roti kapda makan type hua nahi hai, so how can I think of peace and bliss? And that is literally not it. It is so much more deeper than that. It is literally getting to the core of who you are and the most important journey that you'll ever take in your life. But well, yeah, unless you haven't ऐसे ऊब नहीं गए हो तुम जिंदगी से तब तक it is difficult to take spirituality seriously. So yeah, when you want like your peak potential and just get to the core of everything and have a beautiful life on all levels, and when you've suffered a lot, I think when most people turn towards it when you have like a lot of problems that you can't take anymore, that's when you turn towards it. And those are also kind of like signals from God, like, okay, a shift now. Please focus on better things. तब तक तुम नहीं open up हो पाते उस चीज को लेके. So yeah, but that's very in ऐसे अभी बहुत बड़ा part है मेरी life का. So I will be talking a lot about it going forward. This is just like a little introduction to that part. But I keep saying बस हो गया ये episode अभी खत्म हो जाएगा, but I can't stop talking. So anyway, I'll leave it for the next episode. And this is all for this one. And I'll see you in the next one. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Keep doing what you love. Try to find ways to do it. And I am just here to keep giving you the hope, the silver linings, the everything that you need to survive in this world. It's not that grim, it's not that bad, and God is looking after you. So yeah, this is clearly like one of my most essay where ऐसे में फूट फूट के खुशी निकल है मेरी वाला episode. But yeah, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.